What's going on, Gifted Hands family? It is Elijah here, bringing you another lesson, and today we are breaking down Todd Galberth's popular song titled Lord You Are Good. All right, so this song really is in a bunch of keys, but it starts off in B flat, then it modulates to B, then it modulates to C, then it finally, one last modulation, ends up in D flat. All right, so we're gonna cover it in all four keys. We're going through the whole song, well, almost the whole song. It's like 8 minutes, so we'll go up into, we'll handle all the important parts. That's what I'll say. All right, so let's start off in B flat at the top of the song with the intro. So our scale for B flat is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So B flat has two flats, B flat and E flat, two black notes, right? And let's talk about the song form. All right, so the song form is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Really, we have an intro. We start off with the intro, which is free time pretty much. And then we go into the verse section in B flat, right? They do the verse one time with kind of like a tag at the end of the verse. And then they modulate. They do the same exact verse, same chord progression. They just play it in B major, all right? Then they go from B major, they play the verse in B major. Then they modulate the verse again to C. They play the verse in C. Then they modulate again after they play the verse in C, and they go to D flat. They do one final verse in D flat, and then they do like a tag at the end of the verse, okay? Then from there, we kind of go into a special, and we have like two bridge sections, okay? So that's the basic song form. We have intro, we have verse in B flat, verse in B, verse in C, verse in D flat, with a tag, and then two bridges at the end of that once we get to D flat. All right, so that's our song form, which leaves us essentially with only like 4 sections. We have to learn the intro section, we have to learn the verse, but you learn the verse one time, and then you just play it pretty much the same way, outside of a few simple changes. But you play it pretty much as the same chord progression, just in different keys, in 4 different keys, right? So intro, verse, and then we have bridge 1 and bridge 2, which is very similar as well. Bridge 1 and bridge 2 are super similar, just a couple slight changes, rhythmically more so. All right, so let's dive into the song. Let's start off with the intro. And so the intro, I'm not going to give you the intro like note for note, especially with this song. I think there's so many different ways you can interpret a song like this. If you have the basic chord progression and a basic understanding of the song format, this is one of those songs where you don't I don't think I've ever heard anybody play this exactly like the record. All right, so I'm just gonna give you the basic, the bones of the song, and then I want you to interpret this the way that you hear it, the way that you feel it in your heart. All right. So with the intro, it's kind of like talk music, right? The intro sounds like talk music to me, because Todd Galberth's speaking. So yeah, this is I think just a good place to practice some talk music. So I'm gonna just give you a couple ideas that you can use for the intro. So one kind of chord that I heard in the intro is going to be like your 1 over your 5 chord, right? And they're kind of playing with the 1 over the 5. But I like to play the 1 over 5 for this intro, not just as a basic B flat major, but like a major 7th chord, an inverted major 7th chord. So B flat, my bad, not B. B flat major 7 is this, but I like to invert it. And I'm gonna leave the 3rd out. And then I let my left hand play the 5th in the bass and add that 3rd in for my B flat chord, right? So it gives me this voicing, or something like this. Right? And then we can go down to the 4, they go down to the 4. So here's our 4 chord. And then they go to like a 4 minor. And when we go to the 4 minor, they do like a movement. So they do something like this, which is anytime you play a 4 minor, like the 4 chord as a minor chord or a minor 6 in this instance. So we're in B flat, right? We're playing the 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat is the 4. And we're gonna play it as a minor 6. So that's my 4 minor. That's why I call it my 4 minor, right? But it's really a minor 6, E flat minor 6. Anytime you play this chord, this is pulled, well actually there's like 2 scales that you can use over this chord if you want to create licks, movements, things like that, right? The main scale that I use when I'm playing this chord is going to be the melodic minor scale. So whatever my root note is, in this case E flat, we're playing an E flat minor chord, I'm gonna play the corresponding melodic minor scale. All right, so here's my E flat melodic minor scale. And then what they're doing is they're harmonizing a melody. So we're really just walking down the scale, starting on the 2 of our E flat melodic minor. And then we're creating movements based off of thirds. So here we go. All right, and then you can resolve it like back to your inverted 1 chord. So. Right? So that's movement. You can do, and like I said, I'm just taking the E flat melodic minor scale and I'm essentially skipping a note in between, creating an interval of a third. And I'm walking it all the way down the scale. You can go up and down, create a pattern that sounds good to you. That's what they're doing in the song, but you don't have to do the exact same thing. And then they do like a movement, like a chordal movement. So think about having the 1 in the bass. You can play a chordal chord voicing based off of the 7th and the 6th. So that's what that is. They're like extensions of your 1 chord. All right. So and then like putting all that stuff together, you can kind of just mess around because